Hi everyone, it's fall, and in the last couple days here in Central Ohio we've gotten quite chilly, but not freezing yet. We haven't really had a frost, and this is a fantastic time to pick up some great deals on perennials, shrubs, and trees. Now sometimes, especially as we get a little farther into October, with shrubs you'll have to have some imagination, and because they won't look very good. They probably will be, especially as we get deeper into October, they may not have any leaves on them, and the ones that they do probably aren't going to look super great, but that's okay because they're just going into kind of a dormant stage. But this is a great time to pick up deals. So a couple days ago, between a big box store and a locally owned nursery that I love, I was able to pick up I think 3 shrubs, several hostas, and a total of 6 trees. Now the trees aren't big, but I got all of that for just around a couple hundred something dollars, which is a lot of stuff for that amount of money. And I might take a couple of things back to the big box store because I went there first and then I saw some great stuff that I picked up at the nursery. So I'm gonna plant most of it today. So let me show you the hostas. I was able to pick up, hold on a second. I was able to pick up several that have these lighter colorings that I don't really have any of, at least not in this woodland bed that I built late in the summer. And so I thought these would add some really nice contrast with the ones that I divided that I already had that have a more traditional green and kind of a white border. I did have one that's kind of a solid darker green that I had put back here from a divided, or no, that was just one that was I bought as a quart about a year and a half ago. And so, but it wasn't happy where it was. These have more of a lime, very light limey yellow green with a kind of a darker edge. And then this one is just sort of like that light limey chartreusey color, but it's a solid. So I thought these would add some nice contrast. So I'm going to sprinkle these throughout here in the part of this bed that stays mostly in shade, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, they are all planted. So these are the hostas that I had from shopping in my own yard. Oh, that looks like maybe it's a pawpaw volunteer, not sure. Need to pull that out. And here are all the new ones. I put the 2 that are just kind of a solid color on either side of this little grouping here, and then the rest I just sort of scattered in kind of a drift right here. So I think that helps push this bed back a little bit closer to the woods. And then I need to decide next year if I'm gonna fill this in at all, or just maybe let it become kind of the short woodland space with some grass, like typically develops in a shady spot. I am gonna have to watch this bed for things like tree volunteers. There's a oak somewhere that's dropping lots of acorns, so that'll be something I'll just have to keep up with. As you can see, I did not get mulch down, but I'm gonna just let the fall leaves take care of that in the spots where I did put mulch around the plants that I originally planted here. I'm gonna let leaves kind of take care of the rest of it for the winter for me. And hopefully next year, when everything wakes up, this will just be a really pretty spot here tucked up in the woods. Now, one note about hostas. Sometime soon, in the next couple 3 weeks, I will be coming through all my beds where I have hostas or daylilies and cutting them down pretty much to the ground. And I may do similar with a lot of my astilbe. These newer astilbe, you know, they didn't love being planted, and they've kind of died back. I have some others that are older that did the same, so I'm hoping those other ones didn't get hit by some kind of bug that ate them, or disease. But anyways, those are things I'm going to go ahead and cut back. for sure the hostas and the daylilies, because the thing about hostas and daylilies, because of the type of foliage they have, this kind of luscious, I shouldn't say luscious, this kind of lush kind of foliage, it gets very schmooshy, gushy, like just gross as the winter would go along, and slugs just love them, and so this creates an ideal place for slugs to overwinter, which will eat right through your hostas in the spring and summer. So these will all get cut back. I'm going to wait though until these have started to show that they're declining, but sometime before winter really sets in, all of these will get a nice trim, as well as any daylilies. So, but this bed is starting to look really nice. And oh, side moment, I don't know what these are, but there are the loveliest little woodland wildflowers here in this patch of the woods, and there's a whole bunch of them over there. So I'm going to have to do some research, because those are just really delicate and pretty. So anyways, thanks for joining me today. Oops, let me turn this around. Anyways, thanks for joining me today in Aunt Susan's garden. Next up, we'll be planting those trees.